Stay tuned because I'm going to show you a hack that I discovered that really relieved a lot of my symptoms from a very nasty flare-up yesterday. Plus, there is official research to support that this might actually be beneficial. Hi everybody, I'm Cliff. This is Life with Multiple Sclerosis, or Life with MS as I like to call it here. And this channel is a community of people living life with multiple sclerosis, sharing information. Sometimes we get into the nerdy science of things, sometimes we talk about life hacks, but most of all, we tell each other that it's okay not to feel okay, and we move on. Today's video is also about not feeling okay. Yesterday, I woke up and I was feeling absolutely terrible, like the worst I've felt in a long time. And I've had a pretty good run. The last 6 months outside of the ER visit have been pretty good, with no relapses and only occasionally pseudo-inflammation flare things where there's no damage being done. It's just the symptoms of MS being the symptoms of MS and just generally make me feel like crap. I think everybody has experienced that, and we pretty much do all the time. Now, what's changed here in North Carolina is it has started getting hot and very humid. And, well, I don't do well in heat, as I imagine if you have MS, you probably don't either. And when I woke up, my whole body was buzzing. And as I understand it, those are just a full body muscle spasm. And that's consistent with what I was experiencing. My chest was hurting, my legs were hurting, my arms were hurting. My feet were purple. That's a thing too. We'll talk about that in another episode. But I laid there in bed thinking, how am I going to get through the day? Because I have a lot to do today. And I literally couldn't get up and walk 15 feet without wanting to collapse. My wife saw me and she told me she was very concerned with my condition and she wanted to keep an eye on me because she said I was looking very, very, very weak and sick. I reassured her that I was going to be fine. I've gone through this quite a bit. Now, we've been together 20 years and she's seen a lot of this stuff, but I would say the most recent exacerbations have been more dramatic than they usually are. Like they're very, very, very uncomfortable. And it seemed like there was nothing I could do other than just lay in bed and try to just take it easy. But even just laying down, everything touching my skin hurt. I was very sick to my stomach. My vision was going in and out. Had a crazy, massive headache. It was just bad. So as I got to the point with the nausea where I felt like I'm just going to vomit all over the place. And on my nightstand, I keep these little ginger chew things. Let me get one. Hold on. You can find them in pretty much any grocery store. They're absolutely fantastic at helping with nausea. And I started popping these things like Tic Tacs. Like I was eating one after another, and it would help reduce the nausea quite a bit, but it only lasts about 45 minutes. So then I thought, well, ginger's pretty powerful. I wonder if there's like a tea or something to drink I can make so I can hydrate at the same time. And then as I was laying there, I thought, I wonder if anybody's ever done any research on the effects of ginger on multiple sclerosis, not just nausea, but multiple sclerosis. Are there any studies out there? And the answer is, yes, there is. And we're going to walk through that right now. And I'm going to show you after this what I did. And it worked out very, very well. And of course, with MS, we never know what helps and what doesn't help, but this seemed to help me. And I wanted to share it with the community. Plus, there is official research to support that this might actually be beneficial. So I was asking the question, is there a ginger study related to multiple sclerosis? And this is the one I found on the NCBI NIH website. And this one says, the effects of ginger supplementation on common gastrointestinal systems in patients with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, a double-blind randomized placebo-controlled trial. I'm stuttering a little bit today. I'm still having a hard time with my speech, but I mean, I am recovering. Okay, so I'll summarize this in short for you. Basically, what they did was a 12-week study, and they gave groups of people with relapsing remitting MS 500 milligrams of ginger 3 times a day with meals. All right, and we're going to hop right down to the bottom here, and basically it says, the findings of this study indicated that 1,500 milligrams of ginger supplementation for 12 weeks statistically significantly reduce the frequency and severity of nausea and constipation, as well as the severity of bloating. In addition, supplementation with ginger caused statistically near significant reductions in the frequency of bloating and the severity of abdominal pain in patients with RRMS. And lastly, it is noteworthy that the side effects of ginger in this study were rare and mild, representing a very good safety profile. So I'm going to link that study in the description below. You can read it in detail. It's very interesting. At least I find it very interesting because, well, I was not feeling great. So what did I do with this information? So immediately with this study that I found, I thought, well, how can I ingest more ginger? And maybe it will help with the inflammation in general. I don't know. It was just a guess. I had nothing to lose by it because I was already feeling like total crap. And so what I did is I went to the store and I got some ginger root, some fresh lemons, and I already had fresh honey at home. And according to this recipe I found online, I peeled the ginger, I cut the lemons up and then strained them into this container. Then I've got the honey here, which is sitting in hot water to turn it back into somewhat of a liquid. And then I've got my pieces of ginger over here, and those are going to simmer after they boil for about 5 to 7 minutes. And I guess that dictates the strength of the overall tea. And then, of course, down here I have a nice piece of dog hair because that's how we do things around here. And then I added the lemon juice from the fresh squeezed lemons and then some of the honey. And then I let it cool. And I stuck it in the fridge because I don't like hot liquids. I just don't do hot liquids. And so what I basically have is a really nice, cool summertime drink. And I have to tell you, I was expecting this to be very spicy, just a lot to deal with in terms of flavor profile. And it came out to be very, very good. It's not super gingery. It's not super lemony, and it's not super sweet from the honey. It's just a really good combination of all three. And of course, that's a matter of personal preference. But I drank it around 7 p.m., just after dinner. And by around 8 p.m., my MS symptoms really started to kind of just disappear. I had been feeling like crap all day. But in all fairness, I have to say that when I have one of these like flare-ups that just wipes me out for the day, it usually breaks in the evening and I usually feel better in the evening. So was it related to the ginger or not? I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know I started feeling better. So I've got 2 or 3 more of these that I have from the vat I made yesterday, and I'm just going to continue to sip on them today. Now, I am feeling decently well for what happened to me yesterday. Normally, I would still be wiped out today, but I am pushing through this video because I really wanted to talk to you guys. I don't feel great, but I also don't feel horrible. And so maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just all timing. Maybe it was the alignment of the planets. Who knows? Maybe it was the food that I ate for dinner, which was a very clean Mediterranean meal. Who knows? The research is there. It was a small study. It was a handful of people with RRMS, but they're doing more research on it. Now, I will tell you from personal experience, I've been eating ginger for years to help with nausea, especially motion sickness. Ginger always seems to help. It really settles the belly. Now, does it reduce the inflammation in the overall body? Maybe there's studies on that. I'm going to do more research on that. But I wanted to share this with you because I think it could be a cool little hack. And if nothing else, it's a really yummy natural drink. There's nothing artificial in it. Everything I put in it, I pulled out of the produce section. So now it's your turn. What do you do on your really bad days that helps? I want to know. What do you do? Anyway, wanted to update you. I've got some new videos coming soon that are going to be super fun. I'm thinking of you all. You guys are great. Comment, like, and subscribe, and share if you found this information interesting. I'm Cliff. This is Life with MS. And until next time, I'm out.